in and around San Antonio to practice what you've learned. So fortunately, we're in San Antonio and we play all year round. So just go ahead and try to figure out where those guys are playing, those girls are playing, and just go officiate those games.
Yeah, sounds good. Sure will.
Okay. Well, I don't have a PowerPoint. I know you guys are disappointed that I don't have a PowerPoint presentation today, but I would say that we need to keep Brother John still in our prayers. I'm not aware of anyone else in the chapter at this moment that is also needing additional prayers, but if we do know of someone, now's a good time to bring them up since we've got a lot of us on the phone together. So if anybody has anything that So nobody's got anything? All right. Anybody got an update on John?
Eric, can I bring something up?
Sure, Don, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. If you are a D3 and you haven't voted, please vote. That's it.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. We're in a runoff, right?
Not that I'm aware of, Ken.
Oh,
No, there's not a runoff. We just need to complete. We didn't have enough members vote last time, so
No,
you
it's
didn't have a quorum.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we didn't have a quorum.
reaccomplishment of the original election because we didn't have we didn't otherwise specify a quorum, so the quorum was 50%. There was 48 members eligible to vote, so a quorum would have been 24, and we got 16 votes. Clearly, we can't force anybody to vote, so we had to reaccomplish it.
But there are 3 of us running, and so got to get over half. So there might be a runoff.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
that's why I thought you might have known that there was a runoff and I hadn't been told yet. So that's why I asked Ken.
Sorry, I heard a quorum, not a runoff.
Best prelim.
Clinton?
Yep.
You say something?
Oh, I need to turn it off. Mute.
Okay. All right. Hey, okay, well, let's see here. I got one more thing I got to do here. I'll go ahead and start sharing the screens. I believe all of you have received my little email with the plays that we're going to discuss. As if you're new to us, we're going to talk about several different things. Primarily, we're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about appearance, pre, post, and dead ball. What we're doing, how we're doing it, how we communicate to each other, and how we can communicate to the coaches. That's what our thought process is, and that's how we communicate here. This is an open forum. If you have questions, feel free to ask. We'll do the best we can to answer them and be more direct. Last week's call, we were not definitive to the degree that we should have been for tackles, offensive tackles, going low at the line of scrimmage. We don't want any business with that. Stay away from the tackles going low at the line of scrimmage, backside, okay? I don't think we need to get involved in those situations, and we're not good enough, I don't think, at this time to know who's 5 yards and who is from the ball. Turn your mic off, please. Mute yourself. Okay. We're going to do a little something different. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. I'm starting on play 12, the last play. We got anybody on the call? If anybody's on the call that worked this game, love your input, love your feedback on how you saw it, how you officiated it, what you plan to do. We got an umpire. I saw Austin's in here. I don't know, Phil's in here. Joe's in here. So from an umpire's perspective and what we do as a crew, is this formation and the way that this umpire is moving to the backfield, is this considered a fourth down punt formation where we should have an umpire in the backfield? Or should he be in his normal position, and if these guys go in motion, then he works to the backfield? How should we handle this, umpires?
So is that the wide view?
Yes.
And it's 4th and about 17?
Yes.
That's,
So that seems like an obvious punt situation.
We have a,
Mhm.
that's more than 10 yards back. in
Yeah.
Position to receive the snap. So
Yeah, there he is. He's way back there. He's barely off the screen, but yeah, that looks like a, usually you see something like this, they're trying to get the other team to use a timeout because it's odd. That's all it is.
yeah, Eric, I think we'd all be back there.
Cool.
You know, you must
It was
have called
fine.
everybody and tell them to call in.
What was that? Huh.
my only other comment would be is the referee and umpire here are going to need the help from the the deep wings to know what our numbering exceptions are, because we can still have numbering exceptions here. So that way, if they do run a trick play, we can all come together afterwards and verify numbers if something were to happen.
This isn't telling us much with the raindrops.
Formation looks a little funky with those guys curled off back. Looks almost like 5 in the backfield.
Yeah, but we're not going to call that until,
The center has addressed the ball.
well, no, even then, if that's snap, if there's 5 in the backfield, because they can legally shift. You could have several in the backfield and they legally shift to where it's legal prior to the snap. So,
Well, they do shift. I mean, I do let the play go, and they are shifting.
That's what I mean. After they shift, you got those guys curled up way back off that center's waist. So at the snap, I don't think you got a full 7
I'm
on
with
that.
you now. Yeah, the left side of the line is doing the flying wedge.
Right, right.
Yeah, so this is a tendency with Brennan, and from a philosophy standpoint, this is play 12 in the game. We got an opportunity to correct this pretty early on their next punt series. So if we can radio it in to the umpire to have him move up, great. If we can't, then let's try to get this fixed on Brennan's next series when we're talking to the coach on this. Does that answer your question, Gabe?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. 84. So this is, I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to take out the annotations so this can just play smooth. I'll jump to this screen here. So before we get started, let's talk about keys for a second. 84, line judge is the bottom. I'm assuming this is the second half. Deep wing, field judge, line judge, back judge. It's an empty set, so the head linesman has got second over here, and the side judge has got the guy on the line of scrimmage. So referee, you've got the left tackle. H, your key is impressed, so you have an opportunity to watch this right tackle for a little bit. Okay? So stay with the right tackle as long as you can before your zone is starting to get threatened. So as this starts to play and as this develops, scene, we got Thaddeus here, but I saw Matt Castillo, other back judges that are here with us today. Want to see some of your input, want to hear what you've got to say in this. So just bear with us. Anybody, any other back judges in the room? I don't think so. So, from a philosophy standpoint, I know that we can talk about this, but as we start, the play starts to develop, back judge is over here almost at the goal line. He winds up pretty good to be able to throw that. 30 yards away for a hold that may or may not be there. I think we want to go with our line of scrimmage guys more on this play. Back judge, you're 30 yards away. I don't necessarily think this is where you want to be making your living trying to throw a flag 30 yards downfield.
Butter's too hard.
So can you mute yourself, please? I know that David Maxwell, I think you were the referee in this game. Maha's working a basketball game. He and I spoke. I don't think Carlton's on. Is Colton on the call? I don't know if he is or not. But anyways, back judges, let's try to stay away from this kind of Ole type hold, unless it's huge. You're going to want to call this if it's an absolute beat down from this kind of position here. I don't know how much of a hold it really is. And I don't, this again is not something that we want to call from that deep in that positioning. Any questions on that? Any thoughts? No? Quiet group. Everybody must be eating.
Agreed. Silence is concurrence.
It must be. Okay, there's a sequence in these next two, so I'm going to jump to 140 and come back to 153. We have officials doing different signals. One's got a touchdown, the other one's trying to kill the clock. Thaddeus has a deep wing, and you've got a play like this that's close to the sideline. How would you handle this if you've got something coming towards you with a tight sideline, and now you got a pylon? What would be your thought process?
And what I'm doing is I got to look down at my wing, at Jim, to see if he has him, in or out. I mean, we constantly see that mechanic. I just don't know if everybody's working that mechanic, because you're right. You can see this deep. He doesn't even look that way, and he looked like he's looking at the pylon versus, you can see the guy going out at the, the 2 1 yard line. But he doesn't even look at his wing. And his wing comes in, and now he's caught because he signals to stop. Then he just, okay, let me put my hands along my side, and nobody's gonna see.
Yeah, quickly. Right.
Correct.
Right. So, a deep wing's responsibility is that line. If they can get the spot where he went out of bounds, great. But his primary responsibility is that line, right, Thaddeus?
Yep.
So if you're focused on the line, and we're, as young officials, what you may or may not know is second action. And this is certainly a second action type play, right, Thaddeus? So how would you officiate this second action? What's an indicator? How do you process a second action and try to take a snapshot of where that ball should be when we have...
To me, it's close enough to see that something, when that guy going down, like you got to go down and look at your wing, and had he looked at his wing, he wouldn't have went up. And then at this point, the wing, I guess he's too scared to come in and say, "Hey, guy, no, he was out of bounds." He just drops his arms and of course, right back judge, he's not seeing that from where he's at, and so he goes up because he sees him cross the line. But again, you know, will I say it's a tough play? Well, you got two guys there, so you know.
And even the wing, if he sees his foot go out of bounds, he can't necessarily say it's not a touchdown. He can just come in and tell you, hey, I got a foot out of bounds. And then
Well,
still got to make that guy's call, you know.
That's
So-
right.
But
That's right.
They didn't talk, and so had he talked, he has him going out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Hey, Eric. So I happened to be at this game, and these three guys that you can see on the screen were nice enough to invite me to have an adult beverage afterwards. And we had a conversation about this play, and it's going exactly like you're talking. It was a great learning opportunity for both the F here and the B, along with the L. And it was funny, right as we were talking about it, a play in the A&M LSU game, almost identical to this. And we're talking about checking back with our line of scrimmage, and you can see clear as day the F checks.
He points.
He
He points.
clears. Yes, we're good. And then slow plays it up. Because in this situation, Steve coming up may say, hey, I've got his foot out of bounds at the 2, and then he can just say, no, but I already had the ball across when he dove. Or he had the ball, he dove with the ball across, and then the foot stepped out after the ball went out. So you still got to check with him and put it all together. But we did have a great conversation with all these three guys about working this play after the game.
Yeah, but the back judge should be involved in this too. I mean, he's got that line. He can see that he can comment on if that guy's down and if that ball crossed that line. He's got input. So it's not purely just on the deep wing. I mean, this is truly a three of you get together. Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Eric, so at the same time, that
Hey,
short,
Gilbert.
his primary responsibility should not be the deep anyways, because he should have anything clear that's, look to see what's anything happening in the back. Because if you look at that play from the beginning, it starts from the right and then it comes over to the left side. You know what I'm saying? So his responsibility should not even be that ball carrier. He should clean up anything that might happen. He needs to be watching anything that might happen in the back.
You're right. He doesn't have ball carrier responsibility until it's inside the 2. Once it's inside the 2, then he does have ball carrier spot and responsibility.
I think he's saying that short wing doesn't have. I think that's what he's saying, that the short wing.
Yeah, the
doesn't
short
have-
wing.
Yes, yeah, that's what he's saying.
The short wing.
Yeah,
yes.
so the short wing's got it up to the 2. And we don't necessarily know where Steve
Because if you looked at
has
play
this
from the
guy
beginning,
out.
get it from the beginning, because that play goes to the right and then it comes over, it ends up being to the left.
Yes. Yeah, and that's important to continue officiating because that came right back into his lap.
Yes, exactly.
So he was able to still move down. And it appears that he may have stepped out at around the 2. So at that point in time, that's just a crew discussion, a sideline discussion of, if the ball's outside the red zone, your deep wing's got it to 2 and in. If it's inside the red zone, then, the short wing may come down to the 2 and the deep wing's got the 1.5 to the goal line. So that's just a discussion, internal discussion that you're going to have with your fellow wing. So, that's
So
a good,
Eric,
that's a
on
good,
that, so
ahead.
once the goal line's being threatened, and you got your short wing coming up and checking feet to see if he's in bounds or whatever, obviously you got your deep wing looking to see if the goal line, because the goal line is the most important line on the field at that point. So isn't it just, so crew mechanics, and like Austin had said, you just kind of always want to confer with your short wing, just get into the habit of looking down. Hey, are we good? Takes 1 second, get that nod. Yeah, we're good. Then you go up with the touchdown signal, because is that just a good habit to get into? Always kind of check down, and your short wing's coming up, so the goal line is going to be threatened. So obviously you're going to be starting checking feet. You got feet, he's got line, checks down, good to go. You go up with it, or he would have seen him starting to kill that clock. You have that discussion. And then you go on and it sells it to everybody on the field that, hey, we had 4 sets of eyes or, 2 sets of eyes on this player. He was short and cut down a lot of the chatter from the coaches.
That's right. And you're coming up, if he is short, you're coming up, killing the clock for a first down. Selling it that he's short because you're killing the clock for a first down. And then whether you got him at the 1.5, you got him at the 2, you got him at the 1 or the half-yard line, you're putting him down. You're putting him on the spot and waiting for the rest of the crew to get down the field. And the other part of this is you might have a back judge that wants to go up too. So you got to look down the sideline and then also look at your back judge. And then you can confer with him that, yeah, I've got it crossed or no, he was down. So you got a touchdown is a touchdown is a touchdown. It doesn't matter when you go up. You just got to make sure it's right. Confer with your other 2 officials and then pop up for the touchdown if you've got it. If not, you're coming up short. You're killing the clock, moving the chains, and we're going to wind it. Or where he's coming out of bounds, then you got an X to your referee saying at the snap.
As a deep wing on a play like this, if there's any feet near the sideline inside the 5, I'm looking at my short wing first.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless
Thank you, Kyle.
He's jumping towards the pylon from outside, his feet are outside those tick marks and he's jumping at a diagonal. That's the only time I'll take it and not look back on a pylon play. Otherwise, if he's running down feet close to the sideline inside the 5, I'm looking back.
So there was a discussion amongst these 3 about, was he short, second action? And, not a lot of us get second action. We certainly don't get second action reps as a deep wing during sub-varsity. So as a deep wing that sees second action, it's tough to get that snapshot of where the player hit the ground with what body part and where the football is at the time they hit. So in this particular play, this field judge said he's a touchdown, right? But I think after conferring, they said he was down or he was out of bounds. So you need to start paying attention. So coming back to 153, same 2 officials on the sideline, a little later in the game. After that quick conference, you can see how this official changed his mind, right? He came in, said, oh, I understand the second action now. I can get this. And he did. He got it. He came in. One thing I don't really want to see, and Thaddeus and some of the other Ds, Kyle, I don't necessarily need to see a guy point first. I think pointing maybe is a wasted signal. I think you're just coming up with, I got him down, killing the clock is a better move. Because if you're pointing down, it almost seems like, hey, he's got a fumble. And I don't think he loses possession of the ball until after he was down or crosses the goal line.
Yeah, and I think guys want to do that to show that's where the spot is, that he's there, and but you're right. Normally you would see that if the ball popped out or something like that, signaling that he's down.
I agree. It's just a wasted signal. Just kill it and come in. I mean, he comes in hard on it, so just kill it, come in hard, and that will sell it in itself.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he did exactly what his crew asked him to do the second time around. So, as a deep wing, you guys don't get to call many first downs. So you get to own this. It's just kind of it's cool as a deep wing to be able to call a first down once in a while. So that's your rare chance to shine on TV. Everybody good? Any questions? So we're jumping to play 76. What play is this? Oh, fumble. No fumble, possession. And what I've got and what we can see here from a mechanics standpoint is we start at the 5. At the snap, we start to roll down to the pylon, which is good. That's a good action, good habit to be in. Whether or not it's a fumble, we know it's a fumble. Ball's on the ground there at about the 7. We have a recovery by the quarterback. The momentum of his own player rolls him over, and then a defender punches the ball out. And by that point in time, we've got the line of scrimmage guy coming back towards the 7, saying, I've got him down, I've got him down. I believe the umpire in this particular play says, I got a possession, I got a white possession, I got white possession. So he's verbally saying this. What I don't understand is, Paul, if you're on, I don't understand what you're doing coming all the way up to the 7 standing behind Loesch. So I don't know if you're on or not. I don't think you really want to be in the habit of that.
I bet you, Eric, he's thinking it's, fumble is going to go reverse mechanics and start heading. That's probably what he's thinking.
It could be. Could be it could be a reverse mechanics situation. But if that's
you don't
the
want to get
case,
into that until you've got a confirmed advance. Because if that ball suddenly pops out and then the offense has it going into the end zone, I mean, I'm with Grady. I think that's what happened, but you just got to be careful about going too soon until you've got a confirmed possession and advance of the ball.
so what I like, Carlton, he came out of working that end line and he got right up into the mix. I mean, that's a lot of stones for a back judge to come all the way from where he was and get himself into the mix. So I can appreciate that. Maxwell's doing a nice job coming over. I think what Robert, piggybacking on what you said, understanding that clear possession. Paul, I think you could be in here more. I think you could be getting into this action to break this stuff up once we realize that is the case. David's got the backside. So I think the other 2 guys on the top of the screen probably do a better job of accordioning in. I think they just kind of get stuck up top like what just happened. And with all those players there, I think we can do we can accordion in further. Deep wing can probably get over to the I in north side. Maha's on the other side. You can probably start to show his face because we got a lot of humanity going on. So nice job by killing it, recognizing we've got it, and let's wind it. Any questions there? Any other thoughts?
Gilbert was chiming in on the chat question about beanbags.
Right. I don't know if there's one right there. I do see David in the tight angle. I do see that he has a beanbag on the ground. He tosses it right there. Little flick. I don't know if Tim had one. Did I answer his question?
Yes, I don't think he was asking so much as just confirming, make sure you get beanbags down on the fumbles.
Okay. So we're going to be jumping to play 82. Murph, are you on the phone?
Yes.
Is this one of your plays, Murph?
Yes.
Which one is this?
This is from my game, actually.
Okay, even better.
The wide view, probably.
In a meeting.
Okay,
I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting again. But I can't.
I'm looking at the inside receiver because there's a tight end. You got, so that's my key, the inside receiver. And it looks like he might have held the defender at the same time as the runners coming by and threw him down.
so you're at the bottom of the screen, Ryan?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Is there a, oh shoot. Do we have a tackle over or is that a tight end?
I think that's a tight end. You can see it better on the tight view.
Is he a tight end?
That looks like a tackle over to me.
Yeah, it looks like a tackle over to me. Uh-oh. Loading. There we go. So this would look like it. I can't tell his number, but if you think it's a tight end, okay. If he's a tight end, is he covered?
Yes.
Okay. Do you make any comments to your back judge if he's covered or not, or you just let him do his thing?
I didn't on this play, no.
Okay. So if this is a tight end and he goes downfield on a pass play, do we have an ineligible downfield?
Yes.
All right. So this is deep wing key. This is Ryan's key. This is the line judge. No, this is a quarterback here, right?
Yes.
That's
That'd be
the
the
quarterback.
headlineman.
Head linesman. We don't know if that's a tackle or if that's a tight end. So might have to play a little zone over here to figure out whose keys are whose. But you're saying the second receiver, your key, Ryan, has a hold,
Yes.
takedown.
Yep. Point of attack, threw the guy down.
I would stay off that, Ryan.
I don't see enough on, I don't see enough on that.
Whether it's a hold or not, I'm not going to comment on, but either way, I would stay off. If he throws him into the tackle, I would call nothing. It could be the biggest hold in the world.
Yeah, so Ryan, it looks like it, but the defender works his way into the backfield and then makes first contact.
Okay.
And then brings him to the ground. Okay?
Okay.
But because of that, then I would bank that flag, hold that flag in your pocket.
Okay.
Anybody else got a comment on that? All right. This is another one of your plays, Ryan.
Yes. This is reverse mechanics. I'm not sure if you can see on the top of the screen. The guys are kind of close to each other.
The ball's kicked on the 29.
Right, yes,
And you're at the bottom of the screen.
correct.
What he's getting at.
Am I missing the fourth guy in the backfield? there a fourth guy in the backfield, or we just have three in the backfield?
We have three, what it looks like.
How were their lines on pump plays? Were they in a V like Brennan?
No, they're pretty much like this one.
So everybody broke
It
the
looks-
centers, the snappers' hips.
It looks like the guy on the left end of the line is kicked.
He might be
up,
off.
just like
He might
the
be
other
off.
side.
Yeah, he might be off. I don't know. So from a key perspective, deep wing's got this gunner, deep wing's got this gunner. Umpire's got the center guard. Short wing's got these up backs. You get a chance to peek here, and then let it go, and then start working your way down. So
Sounds good.
I'm guessing why this video was sent in from Ryan is trying to show the reverse mechanic. You got two officials up top walking towards each other, pretty much.
yeah, Thaddeus and when you start to look at this and they're moving backwards, I can't necessarily tell where they started at, but I would say close to the 45. He's moving back. Are you trying to find a depth, Thaddeus, so you can be more stationary and not having to move backwards or
Yeah.
forwards?
Yeah, normally I'm about 45 or 50. I'm normally further back. I mean, every time we get caught with that wind, but normally we're already back far enough.
Do you find that you find yourself straight lining with your back judge and your other deep wing, or do you do a staggered approach where the back judge is 7 and 7 and you guys
Yeah,
are 10?
The back judge is normally up a little bit, and me and the other deep are a little bit further back.
So you're under the opinion where you typically going to be around 10 yards from the returner?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So the back judge then is going to be 7 and 7 or 7 and 2, somewhere around in that close yardage. And as this starts to develop, I think this back judge is really deep. He's not doing himself any favors if we got gunners that are hit this vicinity of the returner. Any other back judges in the room? Anybody want to comment on that?
You are correct.
Who said that? So anyways, ideally you want your back judge to swing out so he can have a better angle of this KCI potential, muff punt potential that's going to be there, so he can make a good ruling, and your deeps are sitting back looking for those gunners to have impact, whether the gunner was blocked into the returner, or you have a face mask at the line of scrimmage to try to pull him down. You're watching your gunners come through.
Yeah, also to see the any kind of invalid fair catches or anything like that.
Thank you, Hector. That's a good point. You're talking about the back judge coming up and
Yep.
giving an invalid, killing it because of the signal that was given.
Exactly.
So going back to Ryan's original statement here, for me, working the line of scrimmage, being at the 29, knowing I got to get to the goal line, I'm not moving very far off that line of scrimmage. I may come down 5 yards and then start working my way back towards that goal line, because I don't have forward progress responsibility on reverse mechanics. So I've got it to the 2 in to the goal line on a reverse mechanic situation. So as I continue to watch this play, we've got a convergence of short wing and deep wing with no protection on the pylon. I can see Murph working his way back. Murph, if you can, turn the other way. Start to work that back pedal a little bit more. Get 2 eyes instead of a half an eye. You're giving this guy a half an eye right now, the way your body's turned.
Okay.
So if you can start to get at least 1 full eye and work towards that second eye to get all this action that's going on. Because you don't have forward progress, right?
Right.
You've got the stuff around the ball carrier.
Okay. So on like that, you're saying back pedal?
If you can.
Okay.
Everybody, yeah, if you can get in your back pedal, stay in your back pedal as long as you can, you've got 2 eyes on the field.
Okay, because I was always worried to get beat by the runner or something.
Yeah, but like on that, you're only 30 yards away. So, I mean, you're already 20 back.
Tomorrow, I can make something with it. What do you want?
Hey, Mike, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, Ryan, if you can work in a back pedal or if you can shuffle, do a side shuffle, at least give you a full eye, if not 2 on that play.
Okay.
And your opposite short wing, he came down way too far. He's really left that other side exposed, just like that play 140 that we saw from the Harlan game. You know, they reverse field, and then we've got nothing on that pylon. Okay.
Hey, Eric, before you jump to the next one, something that I think there's just a lot of games where
This is
everyone
Chris,
gets caught
by
up
the
in
way.
this.
This is Chris.
Yeah, where people get caught up in this is a deep wing or a short wing in this position. If you know that that guy's going to be right next to the sideline or he's going out of bounds, stop moving toward the goal line and crash in, because you need to get all those colors separated with the short wing. And if you keep backpedaling to the goal line, then you wait. I mean, there's only one short wing, maybe the umpire, whoever's going to come over there, but like your job is to clean that stuff up. So you need to like stop your backpedaling and crash in, because the quicker you can separate the colors, the safer the mixed colors are going to be, and you're going to avoid a lot of heartache with a punch or something crazy that can go on, and all that confusion, and players and coaches and kids who are pissed off on the sideline that, you know, they may be getting beat at this point of the game. There's just all kinds of things that can go wrong. So just some thoughts for the deep wings in the room tonight.
Thank you, Chris. Alex, were you going to say something?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So I see in the chat, Covarrubias said, can anyone see the visitors' numbers? I don't know if I can. We tried to look at one earlier and we really couldn't see it on video. Ryan, were they contrasting numbers, or do they, I mean, what was the situation with these White's numbers? Looks like they're gold to match the helmet.
Yeah, they were gold.
Did you have a discussion? You know what, if CJ brought it up?
I do not know. I know when they went to go talk to the coaches, they weren't there yet.
The opposing team wasn't there yet?
Nope. When they do their umpire and referee go talk to the coaches, supposedly the other team wasn't there yet.
So they met with the coaches on the field during warmups?
I think so. Yes, sir.
Joe, are you able to go ahead, Grady?
What team is that White team? Yeah, that's white on gold. That's pretty tough to see.
It's McCullum.
I haven't worked in McCullum games. I know we've had this issue earlier in the year with the jersey not having numbers that are clear and visible. So, and you don't necessarily know if anything was said, Ryan?
That's correct.
Was the crew earlier in the year? Who was that crew?
It was
Ron
Ron Isker.
I think it was Ron had it.
Isgers.
Yeah,
Ron
we had,
Isgers. Thaddeus.
yeah, I
That's
think
what
it
the
was
heinous.
Natalia. I think it was the Natalia game.
There
that
was a
we had.
rivalry, right? Natalia showed up with the wrong colors.
Correct. One of them had the wrong color, and so they had to get penalized and lost a timeout and all kind of good stuff.
So Thaddeus, help me out. Did you call a timeout at every quarter, or did you stop that at halftime?
I think we didn't do it maybe the third or fourth quarter, but the first half we definitely did it. But
They're getting beat down by halftime.
It wound up being like a 40-point, 50-point game. So it was more of a mercy thing at that point.
If I remember, Thaddeus, we did take the timeout till each quarter. We just didn't penalize the 15 at the half like we did in the first.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Isger did, and I guess the chapter approved it. Maxwell, Brock, do you guys remember what was discussed?
I think Ron did it before the game, and then he gave him a penalty. If I'm not mistaken.
From what I remember, when Ron talked about it in the referee breakout, was that they talked to the coach. Nobody could change the jersey, whatever. So he dinged them the timeouts first, second quarter. But by the halftime, they were getting beat down so bad. When they came back out for the third or fourth quarter, he kind of made that executive decision that if he didn't call it, nobody would really notice it. And he was like saying it was pouring salt into the wound. So the third and fourth quarter, he didn't ding them on those timeouts that they should have forfeited for having the wrong jersey or the wrong color or whatever.
Correct.
Brad, to answer your question, I think it was visitors both times. So the home team, I guess, didn't want to switch on either of these games, or no one brought it to their attention.
Yeah, we don't know from watching this video, obviously. It could be lighting, it could be all kinds of stuff, but it doesn't look very good, obviously, on the film.
No. So penalize them the timeouts.
Eric, I think if I remember correctly, Isker was saying something about that it was one of the team's homecomings or something like that. So that may have been why they
Correct, and he wanted to wear a special jersey because it was an event, and he wasn't going to change out of it.
The home team ended up wearing white jerseys because the visitors wore gray with a light red or maroon number, and that's all they brought. So the home team changed into their white jerseys to give some type of contrast.
Yeah, I was in that game with Thaddeus. That's exactly right what you said. They were just upset because it was their homecoming and they had their blues on and they didn't want to go to their white. So the coach was pretty irate about making sure we did punish them a little bit. So that's why we pretty much had to do it.
But just to clarify as well, the visitors' gray jerseys were not appropriate. There was not contrasting enough colors between the gray and the numbers. You could not read them. So if that's the case here with this team wearing white, the same situation could arise. Does the end zone view show how the numbers might read?
End zone makes it worse.
Nope.
Yep.
There they are. They look like gold, white on gold. Excuse me, gold on white, I should say.
Yeah, I want to say it was gold with green trimming.
No.
Yeah, remember the trimming does not matter. Just keep that in mind. Just a good note. And if anybody has this team later, it might come up. So just keep that in the back of your head.
Apparently, I got them this week. So
And they're away-
excited.
and
I don't
they're-
know who's the home team.
And their away
Anybody
jerseys.
know? Yeah, we have to have Rudy send an email. Wear contrasting jerseys.
Home is McCullum.
I think you're gonna have. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. I'm gonna jump to number 2 here. Murph, is this your play too,
I don't think so.
or is this Chris? Is this yours?
Oh yeah, I think this is mine. I see you about the back judge overrunning the goal line.
Oh. You got a full head of steam. Is that what you're saying, Murph?
Yes.
There's a runner. Why is he waiting for him?
What do you say, Brian?
Why does he need to get to the goal line?
Well, it was wet that day, so, probably being careful.
Exactly. You know, that's tough to know where you are on the field. You got guys that are trying to make a tackle. You're trying to move. Again, you're running forward with your head turned. It is awareness, and that's going to come. But there's always just a time when you're going to overrun things. And I don't think you really need to be too technical on that. I think the guys were in the spots they needed to be. Somebody
I
saying
thought
something?
y'all were showing the horse collar at the end of the play.
Horse collar?
On that runner going in the end zone
Right
right
there?
Yeah.
Right there? Well, I'm not saying it's not. Who's going to be able to see that horse collar?
Well, right there on that one, I mean, the back judges, well,
Looks like his hand.
Looks like he wraps his hand around the guy's shoulder pad.
I don't see anything in the nameplate.
It looks more like his arm goes over the top of his shoulder pads and kind of brings them down that way. So I don't know if I would, it looks bad, but it looks more like that overhang of his hand over that shoulder pad, and then the twist down brings him with. That's where you see the buckling of the knees, but
yeah, which tells you how silly the rule is. We buckle guys' knees, but we don't call it nothing. But yet we can get the nameplate and don't buckle and call something.
Right.
Yeah, it's clearly not a horse collar.
Again, like I said, I didn't know what y'all was showing in this play because I'm like, are they showing that? I don't.
Stay away from the LY words. LY words will get you in trouble. It's not clearly. You got to piece this together. You got your deep wing sitting on the top of the screen, looking back down, seeing his left hand. You got the other guy that's right here at the bottom of the number, pulling down on his jersey. Yeah. For a horse collar, you got to be in the back, the nameplate area. That's the horse collar. Well, guys, it's 7-Eleven. It's up to you. I got a couple more. We can call it a night. This is your show.
A vote finish. Go ahead and run what you got.
Yeah, let's go. A couple more.
We're already here.
There's some people trying to come in.
Yeah, that's cool. You want to go ahead and jump up? No, looks like I'm back on.
You
Share.
need me to share it?
No, I got it now. I'm good. I'm back on. That's why you always call in with your phone on Zoom. Of the hold on the close-up, but I was trying to look for keys. I can't. It's not showing right now. Somebody else want to co-share and run through it? Ryan, Ken.
I'm on my phone.
I'm gonna stop sharing. You guys should have access. No? There we go. All right, got it. Technical issue solved. Okay. So referee's got the left tackle. So we got a tight end for the line judge. Head linesman's got number 2, back judge has got number 3, deep wing's got number 1 sitting out here. So this particular hold pretty much shows up in the line judge's lap. Tackle's going down toward the linebacker, looking right at Finn. And here's where that twist. And the referee should be moving over towards play side at that point to get some of that pulling, because the tackle, his tackle just stands up. Joe, Phil, Mike, would you guys be able to be, Austin, would you guys be able to see this based on these angles?
So if you go through the umpire's progression here, you're going to start with the anchor point right off the bat. And we got 2, what is that? 1s, 3s on the guards. So we don't have a true anchor point. So we're going to take the snapper and let him take us to the play. He blocks down right away, clearing that block. And then I've got that guard block coming back over. So by the time I progress through, I'm not going to see anything on this.
Yeah, you're not getting 71.
And then from a referee standpoint, he might, looking at front side coming across, he might pick up on this when he reads that pulling guard coming out, because there's no need for him to stay on that left side tackle.
Agreed.
He might pick up on that, but I think you really got to tell whether or not that defender's trying to rip. And almost when he tries to rip, he starts losing his footing, and that pulling guard just kind of rides into the ground.
Maybe, but I think that defender loses his feet after there's contact by that 71 with his right hand pushing back on his backside. So
I think
maybe.
the only person that might see this would be the R. Like you said, if he just happens to be following that guard, that's his progression kind of going that way. But also remember that defender kind of tells himself going inside like that too, and it's safety hold. But R might be the only person that sees it.
It's tough to be consistent on that one right there and make a living. I don't love the action. I think it looks nasty, but it's going to be tough to be consistent with your R picking that one up too.
So what about the line of scrimmage guy?
Yep.
He sees guard pulling, maybe.
I think
he's got certainly plays coming back.
He's got the same view the R does of it.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, looking through his back.
And then at the end of the day, we always got to think. I know he gains a yard on this one, but we always need to talk about an advantage gain or not. And yeah, this is play 2. So this is one where we want to talk to the guy about it. Talk to the kids, teach them something, and then keep playing ball.
So who would be talking to this big 71 pulling guard?
Yeah,
on the dead ball. Who's going to talk to him?
Who sees it?
Yeah, either the R or the line of scrimmage.
Most likely the R.
I think the R has the best view, and I think the wing on at the top of the screen has the second best view. So the R can get to him quicker to talk to him about it, and I think that the wing official can, if we got O2Os, if no one's gone to talk to him, can prompt that conversation to get in there to him, because chances are they're going to be going pace, no huddle. And then if you come in as a wing official, you're going to put yourself in a bad position and maybe get caught not being back in where you need to be for the snap. So relay that message in if you saw the action.
And again, this might be one you bank for 4 or 5 plays and find breaking action to talk to the guy about it too. You never know. I just got to kind of read what the game situation is.
Well, we did what Austin said. We saw a little bit of the action and talked to the kid. It was play 2 and shut it down as early as we could.
Good. Did you have, Mike, did you relay anything over to Brian to talk to the coach about, or did you guys handle it internally?
Yeah, I usually holler at Brian and tell him a number and a position that, hey, he's getting his hands outside the box, and from the action, if you go to it's tough to decide from here because you're getting such a better angle. But if you go to the end zone view, in what I caught out of the corner, it looks like the second this guy here comes by, the second guy right there, I don't know his number, but from where I was looking, it right there, it looks like as he's going by the defender, he puts his hand on him and pushes his shoulder back. And like you said, there was a rip move after seeing it, but if you progress it, this next guy through from that angle looks like he pushed on his shoulder and pushed him out a little bit and progressed that a little further. But we talked to him early. It was play 2, like you said. It was their first possession. The other thing too, they gained 1 yard. So, we weren't going to try to stop the pace of the game and get, like we normally do. Now, if this is pay 25 and we've talked to him, yeah, we're going to light him up. I mean, at that point, he needs to stop.
I like that. You just got to work with them. Let them know that you saw it, and let's try to make it. Now, if it was, this ended up being a 1-yard gain? Or what if it was a 30-yard gain? Would you treat it differently?
You asking me?
Anybody, yeah.
I still think I want to talk to this guy at this point. I don't have enough action with him trying to rip, and this is a tough angle for the referee to pick up too. I just don't have enough here. If I can't make a living by setting my bar, if I set that as my bar, I'm calling a hold on that same action all night long, and that makes me have a really long night. So we need to set our bar higher than that.
I like it. Sounds good to me. Everybody good? Play 13. Murph, is this your play again?
I don't think so.
I think isn't that the, I don't know. Go ahead.
Chris, is this your play?
This looks like Lano Jordanson.
Yeah, this is from our game, and we talked
Yeah.
about this one as a crew, as to whether or not number 2's action was enough for a late hit at the end of this play. And ultimately, Mike decided, and we talked about it, did not rise to the level of foul, yet I still got on to number 2 and talked to him after this play.
What's your conversation like to number 2 on this play?
You exactly what I said?
Are you animated? Are you animated or are you calm?
I was very calm. I said, hey, number 2, old man on the sideline reached for his flag, but decided not to throw it this time. So you might want to be a little bit more careful when you're going in late right there. You were really close to a foul. That's what I told him. And he said, yes, sir. And he went back to the huddle.
Did you have a problem with the rest of the game?
Late, we had a little issue, but really, no. It was late. The issue was I got in his way of making a tackle and they gained 6 more yards. So there was no other issues with him in the rest of the game.
So the moral of the story is you come calm, you make sense, he responds well, you're not going to generally have a problem again. If you come in animated and you're screaming at him or this or that, he may shut down. Right? Blinders? So watch how you speak to these guys. Everybody's adrenaline's up. This is play 13. Did you make a conversation at all? Did Reiner talk to the coach or did the other, I don't know what sideline this was on. Did Howard say anything to the coach? Do you know?
I don't know. I know that we talked about it at halftime, and I know that Mike said that Coach Green, Lano's sideline, asked about the hit and said that he didn't think it rose to a foul. So, and Coach Green was good with the conversation.
Okay, cool.
So how bad, so on that, I mean, how bad are we getting dinged in an evaluation if we let this go and don't flag it? I mean, it wasn't all that bad, but you see that elbow clearly going in towards that head area when the guy is down. And, you know, it looks worse on film than it probably did on field playing live. But like I said, if we're getting evaluated, are we going to get lit up on that just by bypassing the flag and just having to talk to calmly with the player?
I think anytime we can avoid putting a flag down and talk to players, it's in our favor.
I mean, there's certain situations where we ultimately have to use our flag, but if we can talk to players and avoid having to use our flag, which should always be a last resort, it's in our favor there. It helps us manage the game and keep it moving.
Gabe, what
Sure.
are they gonna do? They're gonna dig you for a no call?
I would,
No
yeah, I would
call
think,
is 2 points, right?
yeah.
You think you're gonna be sitting on the bench the next week for a no call on this kind of play?
That's why I'm asking. I don't know. I don't, because I could see
No.
holding the flags on the holding, on formation, stuff like that. But when it comes to like player safety or like something like that, that's why I'm asking. I don't know.
Live to fight another day on this action. He didn't hit him in the head with his helmet or his shoulder, it appears. Appears more like elbow.
Elbow.
So
Does,
I wouldn't.
does this end zone view show a good shot of it?
I don't know. I'm about to find out. Live to fight another day. I would still talk to him. I wouldn't be throwing this early. I think he hits him more in the back than in the head.
Agree, but what let it play? You can see that sideline's given like Mike an earful, so they just got to be prepared to explain that.
Well, Mike definitely thought about it because I remember clear as day seeing the action, kind of looking through at him as I'm moving across, and you see his hand kind of come up over his where the ball of his flag is, and then it was almost like we both looked at each other and said, "No, that's not big enough," and he killed it.
You can see he puts his hand on it right here.
Yeah.
I see this one as the little and a lot philosophy. It's a little late and a little hard. If it had been a little late and a lot hard, I think you can go with it. But counseling at this juncture in the game, I think, is the best route.
Good. You good, Gabe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys, I don't even know if Chris is still on, but Chris had sent this one over. I'm assuming that there was a discussion here about DPI.
Is Kyle still on? Because I think he was back there. I think the discussion play on DPI was 141. This one here was a wet field and the guy's falling, I think.
Yeah, there was no discussion on DPI on this one. I don't know what he wanted to look at on this one.
So I'm looking at this, and it's the back judge. The back judge is looking at it the whole way. He sees it. The line judge is up here at the top. He's got a back, got a tackle. He can be able to turn now and start to look to find guys that are maybe sitting in his area. So he can flow to the ball pretty easy. So you got two different angles looking at this play. Plus you got a deep wing coming over here. He's got a really good angle by the time he looks pretty still. He looks like he's just kind of walking. So he's pretty still. So that's pretty good. So it's just a matter of making sure that we're all on the same page, looking at each other and saying, no, we got nothing.
Austin, you got a close shave on this one, didn't you?
Go
With
go
the-
watch the whole game. There's one that touches my nose.
Yeah, this isn't it.
No, this ain't it.
Okay, yeah, I did watch the game this morning. I thought this was it.
No, I forgot what play that is, but there's one where if I didn't shave before the game, the quarterback took care of it for me.
I wrote it down. I was going to call you. Yeah, I know which play it is. I can't remember though.
So from a referee perspective, he's 2 yards off the goal line. Should he stand on the goal line or should he be off the goal line?
I'm not
On
close.
this- on this-
If I'm not close, I'm on the goal line. Just personal perspective.
That's because in the 5-man crew, you've got goal line responsibility too, right?
That's true. Duly noted.
When you move to 7, I mean, it's cool to stand on the line, but knowing you got the line behind you, so you got 10 more yards to go. But in aesthetics, standing at the 2, standing on the goal line, your choice. Outside key, outside wing, deep wing.
No, we looked at this play already. You went the wrong way.
I went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that late hit play.
Oh, I did? Okay. Cool. Thanks. 5. Pretty big moment in the game. Play 5, potential fumble. Kyle, are you at the top of the screen or are you at the bottom?
I am at the bottom.
Okay. Austin, do you have a comment on this as an umpire on this particular play, or are you already looking backside? Or are you looking front side? Where are you as an umpire?
First off, I was upset because that damn linebacker kept getting my way. But
Mm-hmm.
but
You're
now
picky.
I've got the single team block. I read a screen, so I'm trying to step up and kind of 45 away from it to get a view of the of these blockers coming out because I've got a screen coming back towards me. So I'm trying to get an angle. I don't get it, and at that point, I'm just kind of working what's out in front of me. We do have a loose ball, and I think both Howard and I come in to kill, and almost as we're killing, we see Black with the ball on the ground, and we just go up with 4th down. I did not beanbag, but I did, reading the body language of Howard coming across, I did feel that he was working fumble because I did not see how the ball came out. I just saw the loose ball on the ground. So I was not beanbagging because I did not know whether he was down or not or how it came out.
Jason's not on the call, right? Yeah, we can't tell. But you're saying Black came up with it or White came up with it?
Black came up with it, and so we just went to 4th down.
Okay.
And I guess an argument could be made for whether he was down or not before the ball came out, but I was not in a position to rule on that. And I don't know if Kyle, I don't think Howard and I or any of us talked about this at halftime, did we?
No, this was not discussed. I think it was, and I think after the film cuts off, it ends up being a pretty clear recovery, doesn't it?
Yeah, we end up with the running back recovering his own fumble.
Wow. From a key perspective out here, we've got the side judge, field judge, back judge, number 2. And then the shorts got the guys in the backfield. Also, was there ever a conversation about the linemen being too far back in their stance? Was everybody always on for the linemen?
We did have, Mike did holler at me one time. I think it was I don't remember the number was. He asked me to ask him to get up, and that was relayed. I only think that was a issue once early.
Well, this is play 2, so it was early. We probably got it corrected. This is a face mask. What did you guys talk about at halftime with the face mask? Did you guys say anything about it?
No, David picked up on it and we enforced the penalty and went on down the road.
So Howard didn't necessarily have any comments?
No.
Referees that are on the call, you work in play side, right? Quarterback's got the ball, so it's still your baby. It turns right to David. He's got it. I don't know about Howard and what he saw or how he. Too bad he's not on to comment, see if he saw something different, or what was preventing him from seeing that twist, because it twists at him as well. So I just don't know. But anyways, hey guys, that's the end of my plus. That's the end of what I've got at 7:40-ish. Is there any other questions? Curtis, you got anything since this is your first time on?
No, just learning as I go.
Okay.
Eric,
Mike
there-
Gurdialis, I know you have questions. Sorry,
Eric, there was one
Matt.
more play.
There is?
Yeah.
Not today. Not today. It's been
Not
good.
today, Mike?
Not today.
Yes,
All right, Mike. You sure?
Oh, no, sorry. I was
You sure?
Patriots beat it by 3. Positive.
What is this?
141.
Yeah.
All the injuries, dude. Both of my leagues.
GPI? No call?
Gone. I had Saquon. Yeah, me too, gone. Then I
Hey, Mike, mute yourself, man. Thank you. Top of the key, top of the play. That's basketball. I'm not even a basketball guy. Basketball. I don't even know why I came out with that, but this is now the H and the S on the top of the screen. So we've got the S sitting on the first outside guy. H is sitting here. It's an empty backfield. Back judge is on 3. L, F. As this play starts to develop, they're within 5 yards, so maybe we do have a little press. We got press across the board. This guy's a little more off, so you can cheat a little bit, line judge. But everybody's pretty much pressed, waiting for these guys to cross. So you really got to watch your keys, see how they release, and then comment. You guys have anything on that, Austin? Did you guys already talk about it? Any comments on the field that you relayed to coaches?
Yeah, Kyle, why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, so we talked about this quite a bit afterwards, and this is one that I ended up getting straight lined on it. So that outside, that number 1 guy ends up, him and the defender straight line me on this. So I don't see all the action because I'm looking through those 2 bodies to get to it. From where I was at, I thought to myself, well, that was probably DPI. but it's not, if I don't see the whole action, I'm not throwing on it. You know, I don't see the contact because I'm looking through bodies, then I ain't throwing on it. Blake and I talked about it, and I've got to get a lot of help from Blake, who should be coming over. You know, once the ball's in the air, he should be coming to this, and he probably has the best view of a cutoff like this. That back judge probably has the best view of a cutoff. Just because even if I don't have somebody, even if I'm not looking through somebody to it, I'm at least looking through the receiver here. So the back judge is going to have the best view of any body-to-body contact when the ball's underthrown like this. And then realistically, the H can help a lot here too, because between him and
Well, it's his
Blake,
key.
yeah, it's his key from the beginning. But I've got to get a lot of help from those two to pick this one up, especially on an underthrown ball like this.
So Austin, what did Reinhardt say on this particular play?
We before we got a chance to view it on film, the consensus was we didn't feel like White ever made an attempt to come back, and the contact into the chest was as the time the ball was getting there, very bang bang, and White wasn't making an effort to come back to the ball. Looking at it on film, I think all 7 of us like this for DPI.
Yes.
And wish there would have been one out of the 7 other than the umpire that would have put his flag down. And this is a big moment in the game too.
It's 1:41, so it's late. You guys are, Jurgensen's trying to get down the road, huh? They're trying to get to that end zone.
It's 3rd down and it's 24-14 with about 6-7 minutes left in the game. So this is definitely a call that we want to make. Unfortunately, we did not get it right.
Yep, we just kicked it.
Yep.
All right, guys. That is the last Monday of the regular season. Next week is playoffs all across the board.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Everybody know Thursday, Friday, Saturday assignments just went out an hour and a half ago.
Yeah. If you got a game, go accept it. Be easy on the assigners and the board. If you don't have a game and you want to come out, we'd love to have you. If you're in the pregame, let us get through the pregame and then ask your questions after we get through our pregame. Because if we've got a bunch of guys in there, it can get a little disruptive if you're just pounding on questions as we're trying to work through it. So all I ask is that if you're going to join a crew this week, let them get through what they need to do, then follow up with questions either as they're walking out of the locker room or after they talk at halftime. If you are going to a game, make sure you're dressed up and you're dressed warm. You don't know who's watching, so don't come in sweatpants. Anything else?
Is this the only place?
Hey, Eric, this is Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Got a question for you. Towards the beginning of the year, I noticed on one of the plays that I was watching on the film, the lineman was lined up like at a 45-degree angle on a punt play. I looked it up in the rule book and it said that if the feet and the shoulders are at the 45-degree, he's neither on the line or in the backfield, so it's an illegal formation. For with a tackle, I've noticed towards the end of the year, if he has one of his feet just drop back, that doesn't count, does it? It's got to be with the elbow or the shoulders and everything at the 45-degree angle.
That's correct.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that.
What else, guys? Anything else? If you want to do something next week, just let me know. Give me a holler. If you don't,
Always down for it.
thanks, Murph. You're the man. If you want, just let me know either way. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I understand. We'll go ahead and cut this off. Good luck. Have fun this week. Stay safe. Stay warm. Get the hand warmers for your hands and your thighs. And we'll see you sometime down the road. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Guys, thanks.